From Valve opening the floodgates to Apple embracing metal, we have the latest headlines from across the game industry, so let's load them up and dive right in. Female gamers have it rough overseas. According to a survey conducted by Brighter, a third of women who play games online suffer from discrimination. The criteria was pretty loose, covering over 1,000 UK women who only needed to have played games once a month. Fortunately, most of them shared that they played significantly more than the minimum, but it's disheartening to hear just how common discrimination happens to be even for those who play so little. For some of them who played upwards of 11 to 20 hours a week, they were hesitant to associate themselves as gamers, thanks to the toxic masculinity that plagues the title. This was further reflected in the numbers, where Brighter cites 71% thought women were over-sexualized, 60 felt strong female protagonists were sparse, and 55 believed women were underrepresented in the medium. What's unfortunate is that they also didn't think the industry was doing enough to rectify these issues, with over half of respondents weighing in with impressions to that effect. So if your company is producing online multiplayer or looking to have an impact, try spearheading some initiatives to make the industry and its games more inclusive. It looks like Valve's tired of having responsibilities. In what's been deemed by many to be a controversial move, the company declared this week that it'll only be taking action against games released on Steam that are deemed illegal or troll-worthy. This decision is coming hot off the heels of the Lou game kerfuffle from a couple weeks ago and plays against their current policies, although we'd imagine steps are being taken behind the scenes to present a consistent message of acceptance. On their official post, Valve rationalized the decision by claiming they shouldn't be the gatekeepers deciding what their players can and cannot buy on their platform. They'd proceed to state that their role should be providing systems and tools that'll help consumers make informed choices. It's clear that the company finds curation to be a tough task. If you see something on Steam that you think should not exist, they said, it's almost certain that someone at Valve is right there with you. The logic certainly checks out. When you're an industry juggernaut, you're bound to have a lot of varying opinions on controversial subjects, and at least a couple villains on payroll. Speaking of money, it looks like Ubisoft is sharing some with select participants. The company announced plans for revenue sharing with the Rainbow Six Pro League, kicking off the initiative with a pilot program that'll incorporate 11 teams over its 8th and 9th seasons. Each of the groups will have a charm and weapon skin available during this trial period, from which the corresponding team will receive 30% of the revenue earned from the in-game item. Pro League skins will also be made available, which will grant the teams a 15% split amongst themselves and an additional 15% put into the 6th Invitational prize pool for next year. Once this trial period is over, Ubisoft is expecting to roll out a more finalized revenue share format for the league, so keep your eyes on them for some suggestions for how to take advantage of this sort of space. Sharing profits with your players might be an avenue you'll want to pursue someday. Ubisoft is always looking out to the future. When it comes to consoles, their CEO believes that we'll be seeing their final generation next cycle, and welcoming a new wave of content distribution courtesy of streaming services. He's confident that we'll be seeing major technological strides that'll allow streaming to be a more smooth experience across the globe, particularly in big cities where internet's actually reliable. I believe the transition will help the AAA scene grow at an accelerated rate. The success of streaming for other mediums shows promise for this direction. We'll look no further than Nvidia's streaming technologies or crossplay titles like Minecraft and Fortnite, and you'll see the early signs of a prospective standard on the horizon for our industry too. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Does Ubisoft have the trends figured out, or do you think consoles are here to stay? Supercell made headlines this week, but we're not touching that. Online retailer Xbyte is concerned about the ramifications of recent closures. In the last 2 months, 3 independent businesses, Granger Games, GameSeek, and Game Center, all fell into liquidation in the UK. That collapse comes with the loss of 70 street shops and 3 online stores, which is a real blow to their retail scene and a sign of troubles ahead for those that remain. Managing Director Nick Whitehead says his company currently employs a staff of 90 and has a trade profit of over £1 million, 50% higher than last year. That's certainly a healthy weight, but those gains came from a shift in priorities. As Nick reported, 100% of their business was once focused on video games, but it's dropped down to just under 50% today. While the retail space is different than it is for developers, there's a lesson to be learned here. If you or your company have a means to diversify revenue streams, jump on the opportunity to ensure there's enough food on the table and ample space to pack on the pounds. Apple has made some tweaks to their store review guidelines. Going forward, developers now have the option to offer players free trials of non-subscription apps, something you might have guessed was once exclusive to subscriptions. There's a few criteria outlined in their guidelines regarding proper protocols. Free time-based trials must follow a strict naming convention, clearly identify their duration, and ensure users know the content is blocked after the requisite time has elapsed. They also expounded upon their decision to reject Steam Link. As Apple claims, any app that encourages spending through any other method than in-app purchases are not welcome on the company's platform. And since games on Steam are purchased through Valve rather than their own storefront, it's not eligible for release. It's unfortunate news for Steam, but welcome transparency for developers who might have been considering alternative revenue methods on iOS devices. If you were planning to follow Valve's footsteps, you might just want to pivot to something with a free trial instead. Apple had what some could consider bad news to share at their Worldwide Developers Conference too. For fans of OpenGL and Vulkan, you'll be disappointed to hear that support for the APIs will be depreciated in favor of exclusively supporting their own, Metal. OpenGL will still work on iOS devices, but Apple will only provide fixes for critical bugs and security-related issues going forward. For those who aren't interested in making the switch to the platform's proprietary API, the Kronos Group plan to continue working to ensure Vulkan remains functional on Apple's hardware. Whether or not this will prove troublesome for multi-platform support remains to be seen, but we'd recommend you steel yourself for what might come. Apple isn't the only company eager to upset you this week. Microsoft has revealed that they've acquired GitHub, but the company was quick to inform concerned users that the core values and open source spirit of the platform will remain intact. They stated that GitHub will continue to operate independently and support a diverse range of programming languages, devices, and operating systems as it has in the past. What's changing is its management. GitHub's current CEO will be brought into the fold at Microsoft as a technical fellow, while one of Microsoft's corporate VPs will be claiming his former seat. Additionally, they intend to accelerate enterprise developers' use of GitHub through Microsoft's own sales and partner channels and access to their global cloud infrastructure and services. Whether you're for or against the acquisition, the silver lining might be that there's more bang for your buck when you claim a subscription. So let's just hope prices stay competitive. And that covers this week's lineup, ladies and gentlemen. Was there anything you found particularly insightful? Did we miss something you think should have been covered? Let us know in the comments below and be sure to tune in next time for another newsworthy breakdown.